Righty then. We are back for another episode of Down the Rabbit Hole. It's your boy, Mike. We got the super producer back there.
That's right, sir.
Tony, a.k.a. Mario, a.k.a. Mr. Mustachio. And then we got a very special guest back-to-back, Tony. Know what you hold. We got Echo in the building.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? How you doing, gentlemen?
I'm hyped, dude. I'm hyped.
I think we're all hyped because we know what we hold. Let's go.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, dude. Yes, man. This was everybody out there. This is an impromptu episode. We weren't going to do it. I reached out to Will. He said, let's fire it up. And we're here. We've got a cool lineup here today to talk about some stuff and pick your brain about. So let's get into it. First of all, how's your day going, dude?
Dude, it's amazing. I can't complain. I mean, there's so much information coming out back to back. Right now, there is a lack of sleep on my end, but it comes with the territory, right?
Yep. We've got Total Recall over here on my back left shoulder or right shoulder. And then up top here, we have the Matrix going on over there. Just a heads up if people were wondering in the Ethernet. So Lockbit, dude, claims the hack of the U.S. Federal Reserve. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I want to hear your thoughts when you heard the news. What went through your head?
Man, when I first heard about it, I thought, could it be true? Right. That was my first initial thought. And then I was like, then I started doing research on who Lockbit was. Right. Mm-hmm. And they actually have a lot of credible sources of what they, the information that they release. So I didn't think that they were bluffing as soon as I started researching, their background, their information. And I've heard that they've hacked into, the central banking system before too. Right. Now, when I went to go do my research on, the information, there was of course, the countdown timer. So I got so I was following Hackmatic, and those people are the ones that are, sharing the information out on X right now, and just been keeping us updated on, what information is being found, right? Because they released 33 terabytes worth of information. That's equivalent to over 8 million documents that were hacked by the central banks, or not by them, but by them of the central banks, right? The first link that you were to download. Now, keep in mind, you're going to have to go to, the interweb, the dark web to actually get this information, right? So it's not publicly known.
There, I mean, I've never dabbled in there, but I know one of my good buddies, Solomon. He has been in there since I feel like 2009, and you have to be cautious. You don't know what you're doing. You could get got.
Correct. So you want to make sure that you're not just clicking on anything. Mm-hmm. But whenever you go to their Lockbit information, they have all the ransoms and everything that they hacked into, right? And what they have put out there. One of the first links that was shared, or one of the first links that shared, is about what was it? The company called? It was a Vault Bank. Mm-hmm. They hacked into a Vault Bank, right? And a Vault Bank. At first, it seemed like a nothing burger, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, they didn't, hack into the Federal Reserve, yada yada." And I'm over here like, a Vault Bank. I was like, I know who a Vault Bank is because I'm in the crypto space, And this goes all the way back to 2021, 2022, the last crypto bull run. Mm. A Vault Bank and Trust is partners with BlockFi, which is the company that went bankrupt. That filed for bankruptcy, right? Where a lot of individual citizens and people, they were to, stake their crypto, hand it over to BlockFi, and they would receive like an APY, but they became insolvent, right? BlockFi is also partners with FTX. FTX, and if you know about the whole entire FTX Sam Bankman scandal.
Sam Bankman fraud.
Yes.
That's what I call him. Tony hates. I wish there was a camera on Tony because he goes like he's Jim Carrey back there because he hates when I get a joke in because Tony's the comedian here at GTV. Thank you. But continue, dude. Continue.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, I'm sorry.
So they're involved with FTX. You're saying?
They're involved with FTX. They're involved. Well, the whole thing is that the suspicion around it was that Sam Bankman-Fried is a big Democrat supporter, right? And he were to be giving funds to the Democratic Party, to the candidates, and whatnot. And the money was always said to have shown to have been funneling through, the Democratic Party, over to Ukraine and back out. And they would be using a crypto exchange. The crypto exchange that they'll be using was FTX. So if that's the case, then Evolve Bank connection with the ledger, the information that's shared by Lockbit that they were able to obtain, connect that with what we have on the blockchain together, you could actually expose the corruption behind the money right then and there. But that's just the first portion of it. We haven't even gone through probably the other, 32.8 terabytes worth of information.
And that's, I hope, going to get released. I really do.
It's already released. The problem is that there's so much information to go through.
Oh, shite.
Yes. And there's not enough what I call digital warriors, right? That know how to, surf the interweb, surf the dark web and try to get this information to try to break this information down. You can't just go on any website and just download this document and, see, hey, this is where it all is.
Do you know anybody personally that's an internet warrior that's, trying to delve into it and dissect these documents?
Yes, there are people that I'm in touch
you don't have
with.
To say names. I'm just wondering if you know like people that are, Yeah. Okay, cool. That's dope. So we're definitely gonna be in tune to you to know what's going on, stay up to date. It's pretty insane, dude. I mean, it's never happened before, I feel like.
No, I mean, not at this black. Well, a lot of people forgot about FTX. You think about it, like nobody talked about FTX. Nobody.
Like Tom Brady's chilling up there. Yeah. No one's talking about it.
No, and it caused over $8 billion worth of damages. It was upwards of like I read in some cases like $12 billion total. Which, if people don't realize how massive that is, the whole entire Bernie Madoff back in 2008.
Our boy Bernie Sanders.
Billion. Huh?
Our boy Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders. Yeah. Hey, he's probably part of it too. We don't even know.
Yo, bro, definitely. Dude, definitely. That is the biggest commie I know. Oh my God. I remember when he was running and they had the bird landed on the podium and everyone was like, he's the chosen one. It's like that was probably a drone bird that they were like, yep, we're landing here. Copy.
Hey, I don't doubt it at all. I don't doubt it at all.
100%.
You'd be surprised at what's out there.
Oh, dude. I mean, I'm always, every time I look at a pigeon, I'm like, I wonder, because typically they say the pigeons are, robots or whatever, but drone robots. So what do you think is going to come from this whole hack, and what's next, basically? What do you think? And if you're looking in your crystal ball, what does William see?
I thought it was very coincidental that that Brad Garlinghouse, who is the CEO of Ripple, made a comment yesterday about Gary Gensler and FTX. So I thought that was really coincidental that he brought that up, because he hasn't brought that up in a very, very long time. Again, people forgot about FTX. They forgot about all of that. And I'm like, if this is correct, if I'm thinking about it logically and right, Evolve Bank connecting with BlockFi FTX, it will bring back everything that everybody's forgotten, right? Because let's be realistic, the dude literally committed, money laundering, right? He misappropriated funds, right? But not saying that he didn't know what he was doing. If it's true that they're funneling money through this whole entire system that they thought they could get away with, they did it completely wrong, right? Because you can track everything on the blockchain, and I feel like that they're going to use this as an example. Like, hey, y'all thought y'all could get away with it. Y'all thought y'all could manipulate the system, but this is how we caught you all. There was a U.S. debt clock that happened, or that came out recently, that talked about a future article on 22 states suing the Federal Reserve, and they had credible evidence to do so. And whenever I decoded it to the point that they used blockchain technology to figure out how the Federal Reserve was, funneling the money and, playing with the money.
And were you using gematria again to decode this?
No, I wasn't using gematria. No, gematria just told me like information that I guess that, or what I'm assuming is that they want me to tell to the audience, right? Whenever I share the information from the decodes of the images, that's more the information that I just know logically. Like, hey, I'm seeing this information now. I need to try to tailor it over to your everyday person.
Right. And with this last video you made, are you talking about the one from literally like 30 minutes ago that you made?
No. This was an image that was posted a few weeks ago.
So tell us about the new debt clock image that was just released today then. Maybe we could go there for a sec.
Yeah, absolutely. So the new debt clock image that was posted today was talking about the new USA Treasury dollar that we're going into. We're going to be going into a new Treasury dollar. They're setting this up for that. You're seeing that on the debt clock that it's going to be introduced by 2025, right? This thing is going to be asset backed. So it's going to be completely asset backed by gold, silver, copper, energy, new energy. Yeah, exactly. And whenever I was looking at this new secret image right here, right, I'm like, okay, well, it says that's a stock, it's a bond, and it's bankless savings account. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm thinking about this logically, we're going to have to use AI and blockchain technology and distributed ledger technology to accomplish what we need to do here, which is minting everything onto the blockchain and being able to fractionalize it, right? And being able to track it and everything like that. Well, whenever it says it's going to be a stock and it's going to be a bond, we can create a stock and a bond from this treasury dollar because you can package everything up, put it onto the blockchain and make it into its own little stock. And whoever buys that stock, whoever buys that bond, right, will of course receive either will receive like a dividend in from it or receive interest from this maturity from it. So you can actually tokenize these assets and create it into a stock or a bond, and fractionalize it for everybody to own it. This already comes into fruition for what we're looking to do because if you're looking at gold and silver, they're already minting that onto the blockchain as it is. So whenever I was looking at the debt clock, I would let everybody know that this is telling us right now that we're going to blockchain. This goes hand in hand with all the regulations and clarity that we have coming into the space right now, right? Now, whenever I was digging more deeper into it, of course, Ripple is coming out with their own stable coin called the RLUSD. The RLUSD is going to be backed by a basket of assets, coincidentally, right? And short-term treasury bonds. And these short-term treasury bonds can be this new treasury dollar. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Federal Reserve note. We don't, and then so that's why in the most recent debt clock image, it shows the Federal Reserve note, and it's in a graveyard because we don't need the Federal Reserve note. The concept of that dollar is dead because it's a debt-based dollar, right? We can go into a credit-based system, and we can go into this credit-based system that's interest-free. So let's just say, for example, like me, you, and Tony, right? We all own these assets. We all can be our own bank. And what I mean by that is that not everybody's going to have assets. Not everybody's going to have like silver, right? Okay. But since we have the silver, okay, we can collateralize that and make this into a bank, right? And then if somebody has a project, let's just say a humanitarian project, right? We like that humanitarian project. We can give them a loan for it. But instead of them paying us back in interest, we can kind of be like Shark Tank and be like, okay, I want equity into your project, or I
Exactly.
want profits from your project. This is actually going to be able to grow humanity, right?
Mhm.
Because people don't have to worry about paying that interest on your bank,
Yeah. Yeah.
on that business loan.
Mhm.
And it's not going to be centralized at the bank itself, because you can do it, I can do it, everybody can do it, or we can pull all in together and work together to create this humanitarian project that somebody has.
Exactly, exactly, and that's the difference from today is where it's you got the dark looming cloud of owing whoever it is, whether it's, the bank, like you said, or an investor, for example, that wants just money back.
Correct, correct. And I
Yeah.
think they set it up perfectly for that, right? Because in the whole entire crypto Web3 space, they already have that set up. It's called like crowdfunding, right? And some people might call it like an IPO or ICO or something like that. But in realistically, right, you're allowing the free market to decide. That's what you're ultimately doing. We're going to a free market society, and that's what we do need.
Right, and
Because
that's what they don't want. That's why there's all this backlash and fight back essentially because they're, losing control. I basically when I try to explain the blockchain and ledgers to people, it's just like, think of September 10th when they announced trillions of dollars are missing. And then September 11th, 2001, that part of the Pentagon with all those documents gets blown up from the plane. And we don't know what's going on with all that money. We still don't know. But if that happened in today's world with the blockchain, if it happened in the transaction there, it doesn't matter if you blow it up. We're going to find out who you are.
absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why we need a system like that, because I don't know about you, but I would like to know where our billions of dollars and millions of dollars are going to, right?
Oh,
Whose
no. Yeah.
wallet is going to?
No, I know. I actually love this system so much. I hope it continues. I'm all for it.
Exactly, exactly. Hey, if you're gonna make me pay taxes on something, tell me where it's going.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's not to the roads over here, I'll tell you that.
No, definitely not to the roads over here, bro.
Potholes everywhere. Um, so yeah, anything more on the national debt clock image that you wanna talk about?
I mean, so I thought it was coincidental that
Oh, and also, side note, I'm sorry, I forgot
no,
to
go ahead.
I didn't wanna cut you off while you're saying it. I'm glad you brought up the Brad Garlinghouse comment because that's crazy. Like, that is crazy. That's what remember last time I was saying, if you're wondering what's going on with XRP, if you're like ever like, just go watch him and follow him and you'll be calm. Cause he just knows something we don't know, I think he knows it's over and it's inevitable.
I feel like, to be honest with you, it is over, right?
Yeah.
We're just in that transitional stage right now.
Mhm.
The only reason why I say that is because whenever I'm monitoring and watching like Jerome Powell and how he speaks and everything, it almost seems like it's just. I mean, of course, I know it's scripted, right? But it almost seems like that because if they really wanted to battle inflation and get it back to 2%, they would legitimately raise interest rates, but they haven't done that. Instead, they wanted the retail investor and the market to believe that they're going to lower interest rates. Back in December, they said they were going to lower it upwards of 4 times this year, coming into this year. Now they're saying it's going to be 1 time, and they're going to do it 6 times next year. Like, you shouldn't even. For me, I'm like, well, as soon as he sat there and said that last year that he was going to lower it, I'm like, in that case, they already threw in the towel. I'm like, if they wanted to legitimately battle inflation and not have this thing go into what we're going into right now, right? That they would raise the interest rates and get the thing back under control.
Mhm.
To me, it's kind of like, since they didn't do that from the get go and go along with what they had to say, that they're throwing in the towel, they're letting this thing blow up into smithereens, in my opinion. Right now, anything could change, right? They could legitimately come out the next day and be like, "Hey, we're going to raise interest rate by half a basis points," right?
Mhm.
And that will shift the whole entire market and everybody's mindset around, right? Which again, I won't surprise me if that does happen. But at the same time, too, we have all this other information coming in on the back end, right, from the blockchain side. So I'm paying attention to the global economics, geopolitically, all the geopolitical information coming out too. right? With everything going on with BRICS.
Dude, that's
of course,
crazy too, in Saudi and everything.
mhm.
XRP, I'm saying.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. A lot of people don't realize is that like the Bank of International Settlements, they're the main bank now, right? They're the ones that they came in after the whole 2009 market collapse, and they started coming in with regulations. One of them is going to be Basel III, which is going to require all these central banks to actually have reserve capital, because right now central banks don't have to have any type of capital.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You don't know that there's like they don't have their money in their bank if you have a lot of money.
hmm Yeah.
It's not there.
No, definitely not.
Mhm. Try to get like 30,000 out from the bank. They'll give you a hard time.
Oh, they'll laugh at you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They'll just laugh at you and be like, "Hey, man, we got to order this." Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean I got to order it?
what's that vault back there?
Exactly. It's empty, bro.
Yeah, literally. It's for show. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
a lot of people don't realize is that, like, you know, when you have the Bank of International Settlements working along with all of the blockchain projects, right? Because that's what they created, right? It's called Project Enbridge. There's a lot of projects that the Bank of International Settlements is have they have created the project they created, and they're doing it to test out the CBDCs, right? The central bank digital currencies, the wholesale ones. Now, I'm not sure about the retail side. I know that retail side they do have it in like countries like China and India, but as far as the wholesale side, they're definitely testing on the wholesale division, which wholesale CBDC is where we send money across borders,
Mm.
right? When we send money, or a corporation or bank sends money from this country over to another country, or a company from like the U.S. over to China or whatnot, right? So that's crossing borders, and they're testing it with this with the project called Project Enbridge, and Enbridge already has countries like China, Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia just joined up with them, India, right, Thailand. You having all of these major countries that are coming together, and they're wanting to go on this new system, right? And the system allows you to basically trade in your own native currency, so you're not backed up by anything,
Mhm.
because you have to trade in the US dollar. Of course, every single dollar that's being printed passes the inflation down to that next country, right? So it's not really as stable as everybody thinks it is. You
Mhm.
know, everybody here in the U.S., it's a dollar is a dollar to us, but a dollar to another country, right, is it's a means of trading within, but it can fluctuate, and if it fluctuates too much, right, because of like the inflation being printed over, it causes hardship for that country, much more hardship than what we have here.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at a comment that came in that says, "I wish Echo would hold me." That's hilarious. $1,000 a hug. Double
I take
J16.
XRP.
Yeah. Double J16 has a great comment, and I'll leave it to you. Are you gonna read it?
You want me to read it? I
Yeah,
thought you
go
were
ahead.
gonna leave the echo to answer.
Both of
Honestly,
you. I was actually
right?
tossing it to both.
You're
To you,
washing
to
your
him.
hand to this one, huh? All right. So Double J16 says this crypto and blockchain stuff is new to me. Where do I get started? I really want to get involved now, but I don't know where to start. Please advise.
Yeah, so great question, Double J. I mean, so there's several different ways to actually go up on it, right? I would definitely start with YouTube.
Mhm.
Like, I would definitely start with YouTube and go with the basics. Like, go with the bare basics from it. Of course, be cautious on everything. Take everything with a grain of salt. But for the most part, you'll definitely want to just use YouTube as like a first source, right? You know, use exchanges kind of like Coinbase, because Coinbase has like educational resources on there too, and you get
Yeah.
rewarded too. So like I believe Coinbase, and if I'm not mistaken, Binance too has it, like Binance.us. They have like little educational sources. Now, I do love this comment because then I can wrap in the XRP ledger.
Mhm.
There is a project on the XRP ledger that is rewarding users that to learn about crypto, learn about financial literacy, learn about be basically also too, you can learn about so many different ways of crypto itself, and you actually earn their native token. It's called treasury token. And this project built on the XRP ledger. So you get paid to learn about blockchain, right? Now, of course, you're going to have to be, in order to get into kind of something like that, you're going to have to at least have XRP, have the wallet and whatnot. But there is the reason why I'm bringing that up is because they're already evolving that type of educational resource into the blockchain space already.
No, it's great
That
advice.
was a great, yeah. That was, like, honestly, like I've heard that question a lot, and I think that was like probably the most like articulate answer I've heard.
That's why you got to know what you hold, baby.
Like I wish I could be able to instruct and help individuals like one-on-one, but there's so much information to cover out here in this space that I can't, I can't dedicate the time.
Bring them to the watering hole. Bring them to the watering hole, and then you do your due diligence. You got to do your research, because it really is you eating off your own plate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like that's why we're doing this. We're like, this is perfect. Like, we're doing this. You asked a great question. Now it's like you take it to the next level. Double J.
Yeah. Like, I would learn about the basics of blockchain first, because once you learn the bare basic of blockchain, actually understand why blockchain is so important, then you can connect. Okay, well, if this is why blockchain is important, what is crypto, right? Because crypto, they're not the same, right? They're using hand in hand. Crypto is used within the blockchain space. Then you can go into, okay, well, what is NFT? Why are NFTs so important to blockchain? Right? Why is decentralized financing, also known as DeFi, important to blockchain? Right? And so on. But it is a whole entire evolving space that comes by very fast and rapid. But if you're, that's how early we are into the space, right? We're so early into the space that, there's not enough educational resource information out there. But if you do your due diligence, right, then you know that you have the opportunity to capitalize on this particular moment that we have right now. This is a once in a lifetime moment that we have. And if you're able to, again, do your own due diligence, do your research, get into some of these projects early, they could set you up and in my opinion, set us and our family's generation up for generations to come.
That's what we're here for, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my great grandkids every day. I hustle. Danny V in the house saying, "Thank you, Echo. Appreciate that breakdown." Mike, Tony, picking your brain Friday.
Oh yeah, dude.
We're going. So we do. We're blessed to work side by side with ESPN and the Yes Network. In the summertime. We get to go down to Jersey, the Jersey Beach, Renee's stomping grounds,
Lake Como,
New Jersey, for the Michael K. Beach Bash, where Danny V we met last summer. What,
2 summers ago?
It was
now.
2 summers
yeah,
now,
right?
No, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, you know better than me. Cool. Let's go to the next 2 comments and we'll keep going.
Sorry. Too Hot Wheezy says, I'd say learn the language before anything else. And then Double J back in the house. You're giving us the thumbs up.
Yeah, it's a great comment by Wheezy, because I was going to even mention, like, for example, when Brad Garlinghouse is saying XRP is not a security, in the average world, you'd say, what do you mean it's not secure? But in this world, it means something totally different. So definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah. If anything, I could sit there and say is just like, Ripple has been out, since for almost 12, 13 years now, and it has never had an issue, right? It's fast, secure, cheap, interoperable. It's not an outdated system like everybody sits there and says, right? This is what makes the XRP ledger so great, is that you can always update the system. This is why they have validators to update the system. This is why you have the AMMs coming in, decentralized identity coming in. What was it? The most recent one was auto bridging, right? With all the bridges for the network. I mean, it's constantly being updated on the back end. So what I would definitely say is, like, anybody getting in, pay attention to to some of those cryptos that have been around for a long time, but also, with discernment too at the same time, take everything with a grain of salt, learn about tokenomics, like why certain things were created. We've always had this suspicion that, with the whole entire Bitcoin, right, that it possibly could go down, right? Now, I'm not saying that it cannot. I do know that, Bitcoin was used for, some activities, but for the most part, you definitely want to be able to do that research and just stay ahead of the game. And, for me, it's like, a token that's under 50 cents, probably, worth the squeeze, especially considering what it can do.
100,000,000%. It's really, it almost seems fake at times. When I talk to Tony about it, and I'm like, Brick's this, Brad Garlinghouse that. I mean, the potential of what could happen is just like through the roof. There's no limit, really. It's insane. So, I mean, I told you last time we spoke on the show, I mean, I talked to 20-something-year-olds to 60-something-year-olds, and it's alarming how many people are, forget about XRP, just Web3 is not even in their world, basically. It's crazy. And I'm not there to, educate them. I'm just in that moment. I'm curious, I'm just listening, and it's like, dang, you're going to miss out,
Yeah. See, like for me, there's going to be a multi-asset environment, right? Like you mentioned Web3. The only reason why I talk about Ripple and XRP so much is because I'm so passionate about the financial system. And for me, in order to fix the issues that we have with our current society and our current world, we have to fix the money, right? And that's the only way we're going to be able to go into this new environment, this new world, this new Web3 space. When people talk about NFT or talk about NFTs, metaverse, right? All of that over there, right? It's all real. Like there's no, like, I spent enough time in the Web3 space to know that the metaverse is here, right? They're just waiting for it now to bridge over, to on-ramp everything. And everybody's sitting here playing Fortnite, Roblox, right? All of these online games that have online in-game currency, kind of like, if you think about Ready Player One.
Bro, we are here, dude.
Yes.
It was
We're
in my
about to go into
head. You just literally took that out of my head.
That's We're syncing, bro.
You're like Ready Player One while you're talking, and then you're like Ready Player One. Crazy. Collective consciousness, Tony. You see what's happening here?
It's nuts. Like you're attached.
Why do you have to say nuts and attached? You are searching.
You know what? I wasn't even thinking that.
Yeah, okay.
It's just truly amazing as you think about like how fast we're going into this. Right? It's like predictive programming.
Oh my god, dude! I remember 2016 Ready Player One. I literally saw it 3 times in theaters, and my Jamoke NPC friends at the time were just like, why are you seeing that again? And I'm just like, dude, this is coming literally it says based in 2045. It's gonna happen in 2045. You don't know, like you don't get it. And that was 2016. If you guys were around in 2016, I mean, that was completely different than we are in 2024. Like night and day times. It's crazy.
Yep. People don't realize it. Like they set that all up for a reason, and if you're able to tap in.
It's predictive programming at its finest,
100%.
That's why we put out these movies, Total Recall, The Matrix, Total Recall. I mean, because that you could just pull up the image real quick. We'll show them real fast. The new incarceration idea, where through brain, neurotechnology, they'll implant memories into your brain that you don't have, AI generated. I mean, what do we like talk about when they just want to shut you down? You know what I mean? Like they could just instantly take you down.
That's you right there.
Stop it.
Yeah,
You'll never see me in one of those ever. Ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is insane. So instead of serving your time, you would serve your time like that, and in a way less sentence, but all your memories are wiped and your new memories.
Total Recall,
baby. Predictive programming. Bang.
Bro, hey man, part of me is like, hey, I'm ready for it.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's go. I mean, I'm here. I'm a warrior of the light. You are as well. We know where we stand. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
I was actually talking to my sister the other day, and I was telling her, I was like, you remember that movie Repo Man? I was like, that's gonna be real. People are gonna be printing off, they're gonna have like organs and everything. They're gonna be loaning it out and stuff. And if you ain't not able to pay it, then you're gonna be, people are gonna be repoing it out of you. Right?
Yeah.
That's the world we're going into.
And I love that movie In Time with Justin Timberlake. I know he's got a lot.
That's what I was thinking too, bro.
That's what it's like. That's how you get your life.
Yeah, no, it's sick, dude.
That shit's crazy. That's what we're like. We're all a bunch of Justin Timberlakes out here.
Whoa.
Not in that sense. I mean, in that movie.
Yeah, bro.
Bad time.
In that bad time.
Someone's gonna chop that up.
I know, right?
It's gonna be me.
Yeah, it's gonna be Tony on a burner account. But speaking of people who, I don't know if they should be worried or whatever. Is it really him? Who knows? Julian Assange freed after a 10-year battle, 14-year maybe even.
14 years.
I think it's around that. At first I was like, wow, this is dope. And then the conspiracy theorist in me says, hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some Illuminati card game pimping in it. Bang. So if you don't know, you're looking at Julian Assange on one side, and then the Illuminati card game and Stay Dead. Play this card immediately after any group has been destroyed or distracted by any player. It requires an action from a magic group. The destroyed group is gone forever. No card or special ability can revive it. And you guys are probably thinking, what card game is this? The Illuminati card game, was originally released in 1982, folks, by occultist Steve Jackson. As a game in which players control secret societies and compete with each other to control the world. Bang. Thoughts. Echo immediately. Reaction.
I wanna check this game out. That's what I'm like. Oh my goodness, dude! It seems like a whole nother decode right here for me,
bro. You're about to go down the rabbit hole. Who's that guy?
Looks like Quentin.
Looks like Clinton, doesn't
Looks like Quentin too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said that this came out in 1980.
1982.
That was like Mike right there with the glasses.
Stop it. You wish, dude.
Bro, you can't tell me we're not living in a simulation.
I'm not telling you that, and I'm not telling you we aren't. But I'm telling you we could be. And or just things are orchestrated very well by these elite groups. But also continuing with the Julian Assange, can you show the image of him that I have for my buddy? So if you guys don't know, John Trump, Donald J. Trump's uncle, was boys with none other than Tartarian goat Nikola Tesla. Okay. And if you don't know, apparently Nikola Tesla created, a time machine, and bang, image. What do we see here? Can you zoom in a little bit for them? Yeah. Oh, baby. I just want to see the photos. So that's John Trump
on the left.
Yep. And then if you scroll down, they're going to do the face swap, and it's literally identical.
Wow.
Literally it's insane. Just a different hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? So bang. Reaction.
Oh man, there's no coincidence, that's for sure.
Nah, dude.
I mean, the guy is taking down DC pretty much. The information he released on WikiLeaks.
And this is all part of Q. I know you know about that. This is a whole belief system there as well with this, as well as the Princess Diana is still alive and John Jr. is your vice president. That's what they say. Those aren't my words. We'll find out tomorrow, though, at the debate apparently Trump will be announcing his VP. I mean, who are we going to get? Are we going to get Jim Carrey as Biden, or are we going to get an actual android or whatever's left of Biden?
I'm guessing it's going to be a clone.
I mean, he was at Camp David, nothing for 10 days down in the Baja.
Yeah. Like,
We
what
do
the
a
heck?
Jesse Ventura. Have you ever seen Jesse Ventura talk? I can't. You got to go look that up. Joe Biden down in the Baja. Go ahead, Tony.
South Asia, Vietnam. When I was 18 years old.
You got to watch it. If you guys haven't seen it, it's hilarious. On Theo Vaughn's podcast, out of all of it, it's hilarious. What do you think is going to go down tomorrow? Are we going to get a crazy show? Or are we going to get John Jr. as come out there and really just shock the world, make everybody poo their pants?
I mean, I would hope so. I want that to happen, but to be honest with you, I mean, one thing I am happy about is that they are, they're not going to be able to speak over each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently they'll be muted. Let me look into this real quick.
Which is crazy. I think that's the first time they've done something like that.
Starts at 9, 90 minutes, CNN, and then the next one's ABC in September. Who will be there? Kennedy failed to meet the threshold. How is this debate different? Microphones will be muted. Candidates are not allowed to bring pre-written notes or props. They will receive a pen and paper as well as a bottle of water. A coin toss determined podium positions in the order of closing statements. According to CNN, Biden's campaign won the coin toss and chose the podium to the viewer's right. As a result, the Trump team chose to deliver the final closing statements of the evening.
Yeah, I hope they just rip the mask off of them.
Have you seen
like the Simpsons, like the Simpsons episode?
Yeah, dude, where they're just like, that could. People are saying that's gonna happen. Have you seen that? Where they're aliens
underneath? Yeah, I've seen that.
Golly, dude.
I am upset that Kennedy is not going to be there.
Yeah, but he's just a plant, dude. I mean, he really is.
I mean, he might be, but for me, I'm kind of like, if you're gonna have a real debate between political parties,
I know,
and you have one that's a viable option, allow him to debate.
I know. I wonder why he didn't meet the threshold. Let me see.
I don't know if he didn't meet the threshold versus they just didn't want him to be up there.
Candidates poll at 15% or higher in 4 national surveys and appear on enough state ballots that could theoretically push them past the needed 270 electoral college votes. So he didn't have enough of that.
Electoral college votes?
He didn't have required to poll at least 15% higher in 4 national surveys and appear on enough state ballots. So he didn't appear on enough state ballots to be able to get 270 electoral votes.
Man, he needed a new marketing campaign person.
Yeah. No, you're right. We actually interviewed Dr. Shiva, right?
Dr. Shiva, yep.
Dr. Shiva, who I don't know, was running for president. He's running for president. I don't know. He's the inventor of the email. Look him up. I mean, he has some brash words to say about Robert Kennedy.
Everyone, really.
No, everyone. He attacks everybody, not just him, but like we interviewed him. If you want to check it out, but just go look him up. He's actually pinned on he does a great demonstration of the swarm like mindset or swarm, hive mentality, how 500 people control billions of people. He does a good presentation on that. But he's very intense. I mean, we went to dinner with him after. Tony couldn't get a laugh out of him, and Tony gets a laugh out of everyone. So Tony doesn't vibe with him.
It was tough. But they don't vibe with him.
Now, dude, there is some negatives. I always question about Kennedy, right? Of course, his major support of Israel. That was kind of like, as soon as I read up on that, I was like, oh, bro, what? I don't think, like you mentioned, he's a plant, yeah.
Oh, dude, definitely. Yeah. He's not a real Kennedy. I'll put it that way.
No, he's playing his card, trying to be like.
Oh, dude, the whole family disowned him. Yeah. I mean, I know they're Democrats, but like, still they disowned him. So I mean, there's that. But yeah, so what was I going to get into next? Oh, I was going to ask about XRP, little updates from XRP if there's any. But you mentioned that earlier. Have you heard about the red heifers?
No.
So the red heifer is biblical, where they're going to sacrifice. You'll know in the end times you're there when these red heifers get sacrificed.
Okay.
And if you look it up, apparently they found those red heifers in Texas and they've shipped them now to Israel, but they haven't sacrificed them yet. They were supposed to sacrifice them. Guess when? When the turn last went on. They were supposed to sacrifice them then.
April 8th?
Yeah, they were supposed to sacrifice them April 8th, but they didn't. They still haven't because of all the heat in that area right now with the war and just everything like going on right now. If they did do that, it would cause chaos right now. So the government's not allowing it to happen. I just wanted to bring that up.
You think that probably they're waiting on
it's transition? Yeah, maybe, dude. Because like literally that if that happens, that signifies we've entered end times, confirmed type stuff.
Yeah.
That's in the Bible, written then about now, and those heifers have been found in Texas, shipped, like I said, to Israel. They're there. They're like they've got them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty gnarly. That's why I always say, dude, like, you know, the doors are closing and generational wealth, once those doors are closed, won't be able to be made unless you're part of the matrix in a la sports, music, whatever, Hollywood entertainment stuff, in my opinion. Like, you know, Hunger Games type stuff. That's the only way you could get out is by like getting involved in something like that in the future to get out of the shit.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that we are definitely going to there was this Buddhist person that I was listening to. He was a Buddhist monk, and he sat there and said that we're going through a transitional phase where, you know, humanity is separating, a natural progression of separation right now. And the people that understand what's going on, they're going to be able to move on to the new world, and the ones that don't are going to stay here with the old, which is true. In my opinion, that's happening. You know, that's why they're killing off the middle class and everything. Now I'm hopeful that, you know, I am hopeful that through this transition that a lot of assets are going to, and a lot of information is going to emerge that's going to empower a lot of people in the world. But it's not to say that not everybody is going to make it. Right. And I'm saying that very confidently because I'm over here like thinking like, okay, well, you have the people that legitimately don't want to believe what's going on at all, but yet they choose not to learn. They just choose to stay in the matrix. They just choose to, you know, again, live their. It's okay to live your 9 to 5, but you at least have conscious level to know that, hey, there's something messed up in our world, and not to go along with the script that they have written for you. The whole purpose of it is to actually get out, right? And if you're going to stay in that, right, you're going to rely on that type of system. There's still going to be a system like that around, right? We're not just going to let you live, you know, die, right? Well, hopefully not. But for the most part, you know, the ones that made it onto their side, the new 1%ers or whatnot, they're, you know, you're going to be able to change the world, right? The digital warriors that we are right now, we're going to be able to take the newly asset funds that we have right now and be able to enrich our lives and, you know, be able to recreate this whole entire society that we have right now. I'll put that in my most recent Declock video. And I talked about earlier how, you know, where we can unbank ourselves and we're going to be the banks and be able to have humanitarian projects, right, out there. For everybody that has, you know, great ideas and that wants to help create the world, right? But then, of course, you just have NPCs just walk around and, you know, act like nothing going on. They just want to, you know, they're just NPCs. Okay, cool. Well, you NPCs are just going to be doing your NPC stuff, right? While you have the other ones that actually want to do stuff. And, you know, unfortunately, that's just how the way life is, you know.
Yeah, I'm curious, you know, because like, you know, you study different things and yeah, I just know there's gonna be worse times. So for how long is the good because there's going to be a period of good, but it's a fake good, and then back to the bad until it's good forever in layman's terms. That's how I see it, and that's from my years of studying the Bible and different things like that, and really coming to my own conclusion that this is where it's headed. And I'm just that's why with everything going on, yeah, sure, Trump comes in, we have peace. Is that the 7 years of peace that they talk about until the Antichrist comes? Could be. I don't know. But all I know is for now, I'm getting myself right, getting my family right, people here, my family, and making sure we're ready for anything, good or bad, really. And that's what people should be doing, really.
I think I look at it from a different aspect, right? Because I feel like that there is a lot of tapped in potential that here, at least here in America, we have. And once I figured out about what our birth certificates and our social security numbers were, what
how do we get our sus to QV trust, Tony? We like, I've seen some videos. Like, is it just as simple as you have to be so well educated in the law, the black book, where you could articulate in the court of law how to get it, basically? Because that's
think that
the conclusion I've come to.
Well, I think that with the new system that's coming in, it's gonna, once you register with the new system, like with the blockchain system, it's gonna help unlock that, all of that information, because that's where the decentralized identity comes in, right? And it's gonna be all like everything's already registered. So let's just say, if in fact our, our birth certificates have all this wealth, right? And because we've been traded on the stock market.
Yeah, we're company, all caps name. Go look at, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, go look at your birth certificate, go look at your IDs. You're all caps names. You're not me, Michael Theophil, capital M, lowercase ICHAEL. I'm capital Michael all the way through, capital Theophil all the way through, just like you are. You're a straw man, they say. You're dead at sea until you return to claim what is yours.
Yep. And I believe whenever it's just my opinion, right? But I believe whenever we go into this new transitional phase of, like, going onto decentralized identity and blockchain and interacting on that, you're going to be able to unlock that straw man. How it's going to actually work is still, it's still in the works, in my opinion. I believe that they have it already, a conceptual thing that's already written out, because decentralized identity is coming. But I believe that that's how it's going to be done, because it's not really as complex as a lot of people may think it is whenever you just plug information in, because you're able to plug information in through an API, especially through blockchain. Then you're able to calculate and make smart contracts and whatnot, right? And if that's the case, you're able to unlock all this hidden wealth, right? Of course, the Constitution has a lot to play in this role, because if you understand the Constitution, that the United States, that's our land, right? Everything in the Treasury, that's we the people money, right? It was never England, it was never the Federal Reserve, it was never the Catholic Church or anything, right? If anything, if they did steal it, right, or if they took away from us, we the people, then we're taking it back. So I'm that's where the hopeful side of me comes in, that hey, maybe that, like, they could do that, and I'm trying to remain positive on that end, but at the time ticks, at the clock is ticking down, right? Inflation's not is not helping, and people, that weren't ready, that didn't see that around the horizon. Okay, well, I always live my life like, I hope for the best, but I prepare for the worst.
Exactly.
And as long as you prepare for that worst case scenario, then at least you're going to be safe, right? And because anything else that happens is a positive. And yes, I'm very hopeful that, hey, we're going to unlock a lot of this, hidden wealth. But until that actually does happen, again, just don't bank on it, right? But
Right.
again, I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah, exactly. Do not bank on it, but that's a good way. That's a good outlook, I should say. I mean, dude, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, yeah, we could. There's a lot that we could talk about.
Go ahead.
I
Yeah.
mean, this whole entire world that we're going into is, it's a very massive transitional change, and I think it's beyond a lot of people's minds right now.
Mhm.
And this is where that like the hack that came in, because they said the year 2024 is the year that everything will be revealed, and
Mhm.
I'm over here like, it's what, June 26th right now, right? I'm like, well, although we have, less than 6 months left of this year, everything could be exposed, right? And the hacking from Lockbit can definitely expose a lot of information.
Mhm.
Combine that with all the emails that were released before, right? Between Assange and everything to do with the whole entire that party, the Democratic Party and whatnot. Supposedly the what's that thing called? Um, McAfee. His
Mhm.
information can be released. I mean, we already have the
You
Epstein
think he's
list,
still
but
alive?
uh,
There's that
yes,
conspiracy that
yeah,
he's
yeah.
still
I do
alive.
believe, I do believe that a lot of these individuals are alive on the back end,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
But
me
staying
too.
low key, super low key,
Yeah,
like
like
very, very low key.
the lowest you can be
Hmm.
in the key
But
realm.
correct. But if they're not alive, they're alive through the internet.
Mhm.
They uploaded themselves into the internet, because
Mhm.
people, I don't know if people are seeing this, but if you're able to acquire so much data and information, right? And you're able to plug all that in together and just say, hey, ChatGPT, formulate a personality and information based on this person. You can do that.
Mhm.
And I think that's the future already. We already have that, but they're just introducing it to us right now.
No, yeah, I totally believe in transhumanism. There's a show called Altered Carbon that depicts
Okay.
it so well on Netflix. The chip in the spinal area over here, and then if I get shot, as long as my chip stays intact, they can now upload me to another vessel or body, but they don't call them bodies. Um, and it's pretty intense. There's even an opening scene where the main character wakes up 100 years later because he's been in prison in just like a dark area. They take the chip out and put him in a vault, and he's just in darkness for 100 years. They wake him up, they put him in a completely different body, right? He's just like a completely looking different dude, and he's walking out, and there's two people with another older looking person crying and being like, with a representative of the company that deploys these bodies, and it's like, she was hit by a car, she's only 6, and the body she's in is like a 55-year-old male, because their insurance probably can't afford a 6-year-old body that's identical to hers, type of thing. And that will definitely be in the future for sure.
Yeah.
Like
I just
100%.
you
Dude,
should imagine
Neuralink
like
already, Neuralink's basic. They're gonna, once they figure out how to really upload your spirit and everything and all that jazz into like your consciousness into this thing, you'll be able to live forever. And
pretty much, yeah.
everybody's gonna be like, yeah, I want to do it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind, I mean, like, I don't want my age, like my body aging. So if you're able to upload my consciousness in the future,
Mm-hmm.
my mind and my memory and everything, I mean, why not?
Mm-hmm.
You Um,
I know
because I
it's,
feel like,
I don't want to, I wouldn't do anything like that because then you're like in the system. You know what I'm saying? Like you're in the database. I don't know. I just don't trust anything. I wouldn't trust that,
It's like in the sixth
yeah,
day,
The sixth day.
another Arnold movie, clone people, had their memories on the
Mhm.
disc, put the disc, bang, dude. But then
Yeah.
obviously people started doing weird shit with the clones and they're
Mhm.
making multiples of you.
Yeah.
But
Bless you.
they are you because they have your mind.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be afraid of.
Yeah, exactly.
If they were like unknowingly having me still out there. Then all of a sudden I'm wanted for a murder. I didn't commit, but then they have me on the fucking camera and the guy knows me.
Yeah.
What?
That's not me.
That's not me.
Well, yeah, it's just, see, it's too much.
I would just want to do it. I would just want to do it just because I would love to be in a video game. Like you just walk around and be like, "Hey, look, it's Echo."
Yeah, yeah.
Go talk to Echo.
Like, anything could happen,
That'd be
basically.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's pros and cons.
Yeah, there are always pros and cons to really everything.
That's not true.
Like what?
Having a glass of water. There's no con of that.
I mean, if you're full, it's a con. I don't want more water. You're forcing me to have water. There's the con.
I'm forcing you to have it.
We got a comment here, Tony.
A comment.
A comment.
From Storm Surge, I believe is how you probably say that. LOL. I don't see what the issue is for uploading your consciousness.
Yeah, just not my thing.
Go watch The Sixth Day.
Go watch The Sixth Day.
Arnold movie. We have a VHS.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next episode we'll have it.
Yeah, we'll have
after
it
Total
behind.
Recall.
Yeah,
there he is.
Just go watch 90s sci-fi movies if you don't want to know what's going on, really, right?
They're predicting it so well right now.
I know, it's crazy.
It's Arnold.
Yeah. Arnold is the Oracle.
Mm-hmm. Then think about the Terminator.
No, it really is getting crazy. I mean, we've talked about we're gonna have you on July 1st. I mean, dude, by the time now to July 1st, it's gonna be like I don't even know. We're gonna spend like 5 hours here. It's gonna be insane. What like just to think what's gonna happen in between that time.
I mean, a lot. You know, what you like. A lot of people don't realize too. It's like you have not only like the list of all those things that we talked about earlier today, but like on the crypto side of things, like USDT is going down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Mecca compliance goes into effect on July 30th. Well, not July, but June 30th. July 1st, Mecca's gone. Like Mecca goes into place. Every stable coin that doesn't meet Mecca compliance, they're going to be delisted. And USDT Tether is the number one stable coin in the crypto market. You know, that's going to cause a lot of fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, on top of that, Mt. Gox, which was exploited back in like 2014, all of those Bitcoins from all those people that had Bitcoin back in the days that got exploited, they're getting their Bitcoin returned back to them. You know, you're talking about Bitcoin that was $400 or $500 or something like that at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're about to be.
Yeah, you don't think they're going to sell?
Yeah, it's crazy,
especially in this economy.
Mm-hmm. Damn,
you know?
No, it's gonna be crazy.
So you know, a lot is going to happen in a few days, in my opinion. You know, you have the election coming up, right? I mean, it's going to be a lot of information, you know, but I don't, you know, but it all boils up to everything coming into place into 2025, because 2025 is where everything changes. Like people don't want to believe me because, you know, of course a lot of people, in order for them to believe, they had to see the results, right? And the money is, because the price point is not there, especially for a lot of these cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. But I'm over here like, you know, you can envision everything and put the pieces of information together of all the compliance and regulations coming in, right? All the connections for the companies and, you know, the history of the monetary system and why things need to go through the transition that we're going through right now. You can see why there will be a flip of a switch moment in, you know, 2025. You know, ISO 222 that goes fully into effect in November 2025. That right there is going to change the game of how everything is played. I mean, when you're talking about transactional speaking, the internet of value will be completely live. You know, you're talking about moving money at the speed of light. And what I mean by the speed of light, you know, 3 to 5 seconds. But versus, you know, sending money would take a couple of days, almost to a week to send, right? But you couple that along with how cheap it is, you're talking about unlocking liquidity like no other. And we're not just talking about XRP. We're talking about all of these ISO, you know, compliant projects that are partnered up with all these banks and institutions and countries, right? That's when the big transition changes over. And that's where we're going to be ahead of the game, because everybody that says here and says, oh, it's not going to happen, yada, yada. Well, they're the ones that are going to be our liquidity exit, because at the end of the day, we're going to take profits one way or another, right? At least, hey, if you're going to, if, in my opinion, if you have enough to secure your life for the rest of your life, you want to take profits, right?
Of course, yeah.
And those guys that, let's just play theoretically, XRP reaches $20, $100 and stuff. A lot of people are going to be millionaires, might be billionaires, depending on what they own, right? You don't think that they're not going to take profits? And those guys that, didn't buy at the time, right? They're going to be the ones that buy those $20 XRP and stuff, because, again, if everything is going to be ran on the ledger, right? If we're going over to a new financial system, a new ledger, then you're going to need that token that represents that ledger, that oil that represents, the gas that's needed to run on the railway. It's going to be the only one? No, by no means, but it's definitely going to be the one that every institution, in my opinion, is going to use as far as the liquidity side for money. And a couple along with that, with AI technology, growing GDP, tokenization of assets, it's going to change the whole dynamics of how our world interacts, runs, and you're actually going to grow GDP. In my opinion, when I was just analyzing it, I'm like, look, you're going to be able to grow GDP 10 times faster doing it this way. And that's the whole entire reason why we're here in the world. Is like, why is humans created in the world? Well, if you think about a video game, right? We're here to mine resources and to grow GDP, create countries, cities, it's like, again, building one of those video games, right? That's the whole entire establishment of it. And that's how I see it. Just for the past few hundred years, we had to, we were at a stopping point of like, we can't do nothing because the system controlled everything. Like humans, like me, you, and everybody else, Tony, we want to be able to grow society. We want to be able to grow the world, right? We want humans to be creative creatures, which we are, right? And to be able to expand upon the whole entire society and to enrich it. And the only reason why we haven't been able to do it for so long is because dust controls the money, controls the people, controls the world, and they control the money, they control the media, they control the food, they control everything that goes along within it, right?
It's crazy.
So when you take away the whole entire aspect of that side of the money, our lives are going to be completely different. You can't say it's not. When they say that we're going to go through a quantum shift, well, 100% we're going through a quantum shift. AI is coming in faster than I can see. We're like, wow. What was like not even a couple years ago they introduced ChatGPT, and now you can't even. Huh?
No, I would keep going. I was going to add to that. No, keep going.
Go ahead.
I've got, like, for example, I'm like doing a children's book, right, about chakras, honestly. And I'm using ChatGPT 4, I believe, I'm paying for it because they have an AI image generator. So I type in, I need an image of XYZ. It, whatever details I put in, comes up with the image. I say, no, this is for ages 2 to 6. I need it to be more cartoony. Generate, comes with another image. This is good, but regenerate. So I could great, nah, more detailed, more brief, and just keep doing it until I get whatever as close to I want it, basically, because, and this is just the beginning stages. Eventually it's going to come right on point. Why am I doing this? Well, because this is $25 a month compared to getting an artist to do it for a lot of money, and that I just don't have to shell out like that. This is just a side project hobby thing. I'm going to go that route rather than that route right now. And that's what's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if I'll show you the images, I'll send you photos. You'll be like, holy shit, talking mushrooms.
Yep.
It's crazy. Talking about chakras in it too. Like, they're doing some cool imagery. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I even have an artist. We're in a building. It's funny enough. We're in a building, mad different artists here, all types of artists, right? And there's one upstairs who's just like amazing. Like, dude, I'll send you photos of his stuff downstairs. He's amazing. He even goes, I was like, dude, I think maybe like this would be cool for you, blah, blah, together. Da, da. He's like, dude, that's better than me. He's like, are you kidding me? I can't compete with that. He's like, that thing's generating so much faster than me. I'm like, dang.
but I don't feel like that they're going to replace like artists in general.
I don't either. But like in that sense, like when I need something done quick, it's like, dang, like and cheap. I don't. It's tough.
I think the artist is going to be able to utilize systems like ChatGPT to actually, upgrade their skills that they have.
I agree. And honestly, if I had the money, I would hire an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would rather do that. I just don't have the money to just shell out whatever it is, a couple thousand, for unlimited edits and this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a good, tool to get you to that place where you can do that, basically. Because people don't like tech so much, but it's it's what are you using it for, really? If you're using it for dark stuff, sure, it sucks. But if you're using it to improve your life and your circle and your world, then it's definitely good.
Correct.
We got Red Pill Rooster coming in and saying it's going to replace artists, actors, writers, and musicians. I don't know. I think it'll have its own niche. You know what I mean? Where it's like, this is AI, like you said, written or actors or whatever. And there'll be the regular actors and that whole route as well, too. I really do.
Yeah, I believe that as well too. I don't like musicians. Like you won't have somebody that actually, it can evolve, right? You're always going to have somebody that love music, right? And you're going to have that person that passionate about music to develop on that AI music genre that we're going into. So you're not necessarily going to get rid of musicians, but the idea of musicians is just going to evolve. Mm-hmm. That's how I see it. We're evolving. We're upgrading the whole entire system.
Yeah.
In general, like we're plugging, we're unplugging from the actual matrix, and we're up, going to 2.0.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Humanity 2.0.
No, I'm hopeful of that. I really am. I especially meeting people like yourself and more people we meet that are like-minded. It definitely is encouraging. But yeah, dude, do you have anything else? I feel like we've covered a good amount. Unless you want to keep going, I'm for it. I'm out of my list that I wanted to talk about.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, dude, there's a lot of information we can cover, but for the most part, we covered quite a bit of information, like you mentioned. I'm looking forward to seeing what the end of the year does actually pan out to be. Dude. I feel like that I made a comment yesterday where I sat there and said, it's just, with all the information that's been releasing, we don't even have enough popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
And it's coming out at a rapid rate. I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's crazy. Every time you check X.
Yeah.
Like you have to keep being on it. Tony always makes fun of me. What are you, X again? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I got to be on top of this stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like anybody on Facebook or on Instagram, they're like, they jump on over to X, they're going to lose their mind.
Dude, their heads will explode, dude. Explode, man. Red Pill Rooster coming in, Tony.
That's right. He's saying that actors are going to start selling the rights to their images, their likeness, their voices, get paid residuals, and only work for a day or two.
Yeah, I can see that.
That was already happened to Bruce Willis. Actually had his shit stolen. An AI company used him for scenes or whatever they were doing. He had to sue them, whatever. But I wouldn't be surprised if that starts happening now. I would.
You're a sellout. We know that.
Yeah, that's fine. Take all that money, buy some XRP. Then what?
No, dude, I really appreciate this. You coming on. I know we talked about July 1st and I messaged you impromptu. You said do it. So we really do appreciate you taking this hour out of your day to be with us, dude.
No, I appreciate it. No, thank you very much for having me on. I mean, there's just so much information coming out. And I think that a lot of people are
I got one for you before we go.
Okay.
SEC XRP by July 1st. Are we going to have the case closed, or are we going to be continuing on?
I think we're going to continue on.
Yeah.
They said that it can drag as long as what was September or something, right? At the end of September. So
that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, I'm like, that makes perfect sense because, then, right, if you think about September timeframe, that's when, the election will be happening just in a couple months from there, right? That'll give enough time for, the stable coin to come out, right? Tokenized gold on the XRP ledger will be happening by that point too. It'll all coincidentally line up for the treasury dollar that'll be issued in by 2025. So I think everything is right on time, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that, hey, it can last until September. I'm just saying worst case scenario. I believe that because that's the worst case scenario by September, right? Doesn't mean that, hey, by July 1st we can't wrap up. We could wrap up by the end of July, right? And if that's the case, everybody just moonshots, right? But don't sell your bags just because I sit here and say that, September.
Absolutely not.
If anything, I tell people, like, during this, if you understand like how massive this shift is about to be, right? And the utilization that's going to be needed on this network, then, while the price is low, thank God that you're able to have this opportunity to get in.
I know.
And accumulate.
It's like finding out about Apple at $1 stock. It's like the equivalent. It's crazy. That's why sometimes I'm like, yep, no, it's real life. This is crazy. This is dope. We're doing it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think a lot of people are just tired of holding because they want it to be over. And I believe that, me too as well. But it helped me keep level-headed because I know things are happening that's needed. It could be worse. It could be to the other side where you hear me talk about how the doom and gloom of all of this, right? Which it could be, but I don't believe there's going to be that doom and gloom. And if there is a doom and gloom, it's going to be a short-lived doom and gloom, because again, everything will be exposed, and there's a lot of information. I mean, we've gone down the rabbit hole to see how bad things really can get. And, when you connect how bad the money is and what it's tied to, right? Whether it's through illicit activities such as drugs or sex trafficking, right? And that this new world that we go into, we're not going to be having any of that bullshit. You really think that they're really going to let that come along to the new world? Nah, yo. They're erasing all of that. That's all going to be taken out. And that's as crazy as that sounds, right? We get one shot at this, and you think that they're going to allow you. To me, it's like they're going to set the system up so that it can be as not just as honest as possible, but as good for humanity as possible. And if they're going to do that, right? Do you believe that they're going to let criminals get on the inside, right? That to corrupt the system? No, they don't want to. And as much as people want to sit there and be like, oh, the bad people, run the system. And I'm like, no, AI, blockchain, computers, they're the ones that run that system. And it's not necessarily saying they want to wipe out humanity, because humanity works hand in hand with technology, but they're going to at least want to wipe out take out the bad actors that, played the role into, what created humans into enslavement right now. Those people, yeah, they're not going to be, in my opinion, they're not going to be able to make it. I mean, it doesn't matter how much assets you have, right? At the end of the day, you're connected with some very bad money, and if that's the case, then hey, man, it's not hard for them to lock up your wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially when we go into a digital society. This is why I cautious people into, hey, be careful whenever you're getting into the space, right? And creating like pump and dumps and meme coins and stuff like that, right? Not saying that you can't make money on them, but more so like, would you want to be the one that, created that project and, rug pulled it? And you don't think that, AI, that they're going to be able to find you, right? All they need to do is just plug in one address, wallet in, blah, blah, oh, this is your main address wallet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you think that you're smarter than blockchain, then you're sitting here saying you're smarter than AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, nah, dog, you're not smarter than AI.
Yeah.
But hey, man, y'all, the ones that want to sit there and play that game, they can sit there and play it all they want, right? But change is happening, and you don't think that they're going to take out the biggest dog of all, the final boss, that they're going to take out all the minions in between. You're tripping.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. 2 comments, Tony. Just keep adding. That's in terms of XRP.
And then Red Pill also says take some profits from XRP and buy physical silver.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. And not just physical silver. I learned about the numismatic silver. Numismatic is it's going to be the big one. Reason why is because you have this QR code on there. And numismatic, I learned this recently, literally last week, because I'm partnered up with At Cost Metals, and I get the coin a month. And every single time I get the coin a month, they give it to me in the numismatic coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
This thing's already registered, and it's kind of like a collectible, like a Pokemon card. You know, the same company that does the comic books and Pokemon cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why the numismatic is so important is because it's already registered with the data and the information that whenever I dig into seeing who actually owns the numismatic company and does the registering, it's actually Blackstone. So basically, whenever we go to basically unbank ourselves, or turn our real world assets into wealth, that we can collateralize it through the blockchain because it's already registered. They're already a step ahead of the game.
That's dope. And what is that called again?
Numismatic.
Numismatic.
Yeah, numismatic.
Cool. Definitely send me that link for that. I definitely want to get involved for sure.
Yeah, because this right here is a game changer. And I didn't realize it. I thought it was just okay. Well, I have my regular silver, right? Well, what's the difference between this regular silver? Why am I paying more for this regular silver versus this silver in a case?
Mm-hmm.
It's because this has already been certified. It's already been looked at, right? In the future, if you were to go to collateralize, borrow, lend against it, use DeFi against it, right? You're going to have to go through the process of, registering it and having it verified and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Where this one, you don't need to. It's already been verified. It's already skipped the whole entire step of the process.
Awesome.
And
definitely got to get that.
Yeah. And of course, whenever the value of these go up, they're going to be more. It's going to cost more to register this.
Mm-hmm.
You believe the silver is going to be more to register it. Well, you might be paying I believe that this is like $75 right here, right? You might be paying $75 for an ounce of silver, but that $75 for the ounce of silver versus paying the $30 that it is right now, it's an extra $40, but it's $40 that in the future might be $1,000, $2,000, right? That you don't have to register it anymore because it's already been registered ahead of time. Right. And I think about how it works in the future. That's how I'm like, oh, why is this QR code on the back of it? Well, it's not just, hey, the QR code.
Yeah.
Huh?
Come check out our website.
Yeah. Well, no. It registers on the information on the blockchain.
Right. No, I'm saying like it's not one of those like check out our other products on our website type of QR. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like actually valuable.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So anything numismatic is just another name for collectible. But the reason why I say numismatic is because the company is called NGC, the numismatic company, right? And if you look them up, then you'll see they're part of this whole entire umbrella of numismatic that do collectible cars, toys, cards, comic books, right? They're the ones that do the, you're big into the nostalgic. So you and Tony noticed that, like, if you have the collectible things in the cases, they're done by that company, the numismatic company.
Got it.
And it's already registered. And so, in fact, I could see them legitimately just going ahead and taking all that data and information that they've been going to. I believe they're the oldest company around that does the verification. And it's not going to be hard, since they already have all the data and information, to just merge it right over to the blockchain.
Right.
And if that's the case, you're going to be able to, lend, borrow, fractionalize ownership right at your fingertip already.
Danny V saying, need that link. Don't worry, brother. Echo's going to get it to me. I'll get it to you for sure, because you got to know what you hold.
Exactly.
But yeah, dude, this is so great. I'm so glad that you wanted to come on. And honestly, thanks to everybody tuning in. I know it's 3:00. It's kind of midday on a Wednesday, hump day. If you want to go, definitely go check out Echo stuff on X and TikTok. I want to say you're mostly on. I feel like you're not on YouTube.
No.
For us, definitely check out our YouTube at Downtime TV. It's the hub for our content. We got a bunch of different shows, just one of them. And we really appreciate everybody. I really can't stress that enough, because this is fun. We love educating. And Echo the Truth on X. Did you pull that up? Yeah, cool. We're gonna share that with people just in case.
I appreciate it.
There we go. But definitely check out our YouTube. Also, downtimetv.com is the website for us. Do you have a website, or are you just X? And if people want to get a hold of you, can they message you anywhere? Do they email you?
It's going to be X. Like, if people want to get a hold of me, I haven't released this information just yet, so you're going to be the first one to notice, and anybody that's here. But I think we have actually talked about it.
I think we have on the phone though.
Yes.
On the phone. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. So there is going to be a Telegram that's going to be launched.
That's awesome, dude. That's so epic. I'm sure like your community and now our community are definitely going to be excited to be involved with that for sure.
Absolutely. And I appreciate just being on. Appreciate, being able to share my information, and everybody wants to hear it.
No, I love it, dude. You do a great job. You're credible. That's why we love having you on. Next time we're going to have him on is July 1st. And again, if we do an impromptu before then, if like some shit hits the fan and we got to do it, we'll definitely let you know. But scheduled for July 1st for now. We want to thank everybody. Again, keep educating and
know what you hold.
Dude.